I know you've all been suspicious about the relationships in the Healer family, especially between Wendy and Bandit. Welcome back to another mind-blowing episode of BLUEY Theories. Now, buckle up, because today we're diving deep into the possibility of Bandit's infidelity, and even speculating if Chilli might be cheating too. So, grab your snacks, hit that subscribe button, and let's get started. I'm sure you've suspected the relationship between Wendy and Bandit at some point. Well, let me tell you that Bandit's infidelity could be true. And not just Bandit, but even Chilli might be cheating on her husband. Let's see everything we find to prove this theory. If you have watched BLUEY religiously, then I'm sure you may remember that in the beginning, it seemed like Wendy hated Bandit. In fact, we had few appearances of her in the episodes, and the few times she appeared were for the joke they had about always telling her, "Morning, Wendy." But she never replied to the Healer family's good mornings. Instead, she always had a weird look on her face. But for Bandit and Wendy's relationship, things took a turn from here. Being older than Chilli, initially, she saw Bandit's attitudes as very childish. And of course, Wendy is much more mature and can't stand things like that. But over time, she gradually fell in love with Bandit, which was evident almost at the end of Season 3 with the sheepdog episode. Here Chilli asks for 20 minutes alone because she's tired of everything, so Bandit takes his daughters to play sheepdog. Bandit's purpose here was that no one would bother Chilli, but on one of these occasions, BLUEY escapes from her dad, so Bandit starts teasing Wendy to get the girls to go with him. From here, we can see that Bandit has a lot of confidence in Wendy, as he starts biting her dress. And since Wendy runs to talk to Chilli, Bandit even spanks her to make her stop. And guess what? Wendy does nothing after this. And to give someone a spanking, you must have a lot of trust in each other. And now imagine with two grown-ups. Here things got very weird. Although this was just a game for Bandit, Wendy asks for 20 minutes alone with BLUEY and Bingo, so she can take care of their sheep. From there, we don't know what happened, but a few minutes later, we can see that Chilli finally comes out, and in the meantime, Wendy, with a lot of confidence and trust, is cutting Bandit's hair. Even Chilli can be seen looking somewhat confused. If you think about it, it must be very strange for your dad to do all these things with your neighbor. And things got even more suspicious in the Ragdoll episode when Bandit didn't want to take BLUEY and Bingo to buy ice cream. So, he goes into Ragdoll mode to test them. And if they put him in the car, he will take them to buy ice cream. After trying, Wendy walks by and realizes what's happening. So she decides to help BLUEY and Bingo get Bandit into the car. She even lifts him to be able to put him in. And it doesn't stop there. With a lot of confidence, Wendy starts driving Bandit's car as if she had done it before. And when they finally arrive at the ice cream shop, Wendy even takes Bandit's wallet. She was going to buy ice cream for everyone, even buying one for herself. Wow, this really took it to the next level. And finally, we had the Dirt episode, where Wendy and Judo undergo a radical change by cutting their fur. And it's right at the end when Wendy approaches Bandit to chat with him as if he were a very close friend. Doesn't she remember when she used to dislike Bandit terribly? But then if you think about it, all these acts of great confidence between Wendy and Bandit couldn't have happened overnight. There had to be more interactions in the past. In fact, I think this has been happening since Season 2, and the evidence is in the Postman episode. Where BLUEY and Bingo play being the postman, at one moment, Bandit sends a letter to Chilli with a heart. But as BLUEY couldn't touch the ground because they were playing the floor is lava, they threw the letter like a paper plane, and suddenly they say, "Dad's gonna love Judo's mom!" I think by this point, we have several hints or pieces of evidence that confirm this relationship between Bandit and Wendy. Apart from that, something I thought about from the Ragdoll episode is that we have seen Bandit in the past almost always using his credit card to pay for things. And when Wendy takes Bandit's wallet to pay for the ice cream, she most likely used that same card, which means she even knew Bandit's card PIN. But supposedly Bandit is completely in love with Chilli. It has been made clear to us through many episodes. Why would he betray his wife? Well, I have several reasons why I think Bandit would be attracted to Wendy. What distinguishes Chilli from Wendy the most is that Wendy is much more active than Chilli. She has said that she has been doing Pilates for 5 years and has enough strength to lift Bandit, which Chilli couldn't do alone. In fact, Chilli and Bandit have not very healthy habits. They eat a lot, and they almost always have fun. Besides, in their jobs, they don't move much. Even in the deleted exercise episode, we can see how Chilli weighs herself and gets sad about what she saw on the scale. She even farts because of all the food she ate. So, compared to Wendy, Wendy must have a more toned and attractive body for Bandit. Apart from that, Wendy has shown many times to be an independent woman who can do things on her own. So, Bandit feels much more attracted to all these qualities that Wendy has. Apart from that, remember that Wendy had a relationship before, but she is currently divorced, which is why she felt free to have something with Bandit. This also makes us think about the spanking that Bandit gave Wendy. I think a normal person would have set limits with these actions, even if they felt strange somehow. But in the following episodes, she kept talking to Bandit as if nothing had happened. You could even say that they became closer after that. And this can clearly be seen in the Ragdoll episode. But what about Chilli? She has shown that she feels uncomfortable when she sees Wendy interacting with Bandit in those ways. Maybe Chilli knew about this for a long time, and that's why some people speculate that she is cheating on Bandit with Pat. There aren't many clues about Chilli with Pat, but with the ones we have, it's enough to realize that there might be something between them. And most of this evidence we find throughout Season 2. First, Chilli and Pat often joke quite a bit with each other, and I'm talking about their playful jokes that they tell in the festival episode. Or when Pat shouts, "Move it, Chilli!" while dancing in the street in the dance mode episode. But a phrase that was quite suggestive, we heard it in the Hammer Barn episode where Chilli says, "Geez, lawn's looking great." Well, this could refer to something else, and the way Chilli says it can easily be misinterpreted. We know that in the BLUEY, they like to drop hints about things so that we have an idea of the story. Well, here's one that is probably not official, but has been called out by fans. At the end of the day, these are all just some theories that fans came up with, but who knows, it could even be a reality. But to me and other fans, these relationship does seem quite strange, especially Wendy and Bandit's relationship. Their trust in each other makes them seem like an actual couple. The way they interact with each other makes it seem obvious that they might be having an affair. But who knows? Maybe they are just normal neighbors, and that is how they interact with each other. Maybe Chilli told Bandit to be playful with Wendy so that she can get over her divorce. Maybe that's why Bandit's behavior towards Wendy is like that. It may all be to help her to get over her divorce. Well, there can be thousands of causes behind this behavior of Wendy and Bandit. But whatever the reality may be, at the end of the day, the Healer family are living happily with each other. So, what do you guys think? Are Bandit and Wendy really having an affair? And what about Chilli and Pat? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. And as always, I'll catch up with you in the next video.